What up, Soul Squad? Welcome back. Today, I am once again back to reacting to true story scary animations. Yes. So, Llama Arts posted a new video. So, it's titled, let me just do that. We're watching you animated. Now, I have no idea what that's supposed to even mean. Just place you properly over there. There we go. Now, I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but I guess we'll see. So let's just start this video off right away. I'm just gonna make sure that my volume's good because we don't want it to be low, so let's play. I like Llama Arts because their quality is so good. And also, before I just start off, I'm gonna have both Llama Arts and Wayne's Entertainment's channel down in the description if you wanna go check those guys out. They're amazing. They have amazing animations. And yeah, make sure to go subscribe to them. They are absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna make my pillows here because I like to chill while I'm watching these, so I'm not spooked all the time.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You are. Takes that noise. What is that?
Everything okay, man?
Oh God. Oh. That's not looking good.
Huh. Goddamn shoe. There's still people. It's a quiet neighborhood. Maybe I'm just exaggerating.
Are those trees? Or is that some kind of cemetery? I think he's in a park. Whoa, there that thing is again.
Is there something I can help you with, sir?
I don't think that's a human. Oh.
Come on, man. You're seriously freaking me out.
He's freaking me out as well. Is that a little girl? For some reason, little girls are always a part of scary stories. I guess it's just a demographic. Yep, little girl with black hair.
Okay, alright, I get it. No one calls me on my birthday, so this is, I guess, what you decided to do instead? Listen, guys, I played enough Silent Hill, okay? This is nothing.
I get it because there's
We're
called.
watching you.
What the hell?
You like to be seen.
I'm not feeling good about this. What do you mean you like to be seen? I like when people watch my videos, but
There's
that's
no one here.
different.
What's happening?
Don't close your eyes. Those are some people I have seen before on Llama Arts.
You like to be seen. What the fuck are you people talking about?
Jesus. I'm swearing.
Be a dream. Please be a dream.
It is? Question mark? What? Is this those dreams inside a dream thing?
Where are those people? What were those people?
Llama Art
Hello?
characters.
Is anyone here?
Oh God. I don't think a locked door is gonna keep them out. Yeah. Run.
Stop it!
I don't think running will do you any good. And a single hand pistol isn't gonna do you any better either. There's at least 100 of them there. There's no way a single pistol. Oh.
Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video.
That was a surprising ending. I don't even know why. Oh well. Jeez. I have no idea what that was. But we might as well go on to the next episode. Video that we're gonna watch for today. So, the next video is my true horror skateboarding story animated. Okay?
There's a building that has a parking garage with a bicycle parking area on the lowest level.
This one
And me and a
is
group
from Rent Entertainment, by the way. And most buildings have parking garages in them. Even houses do. Houses usually do. But some big buildings do as
friends
well.
like to hang out at and skateboard. I called up my friends Jordan, Dorian, Jalen, and Aditya one Sunday to ask if they wanted to go skateboarding
Okay,
with me
sorry
at
if
the
anyone's
garage.
named that. Sorry.
They all agreed, so we met up at my house and rode our skateboards and longboards through the unkept paths between the apartment buildings and arrived at the garage. We waited for a car to drive in and set off the sensor to open the garage door. Then we tailgated in. When we got inside, we rode our boards around, just practicing some skills. Eventually,
Nice.
we rode down to the lower level and sat in the bicycle parking area to have a break and drink some soda. All of a sudden, a car pulled up and parked in a spot that was visible from the bicycle parking area. The car sat in the spot with its engine running and the driver still sitting inside. Then another van pulled up and shut off its engine in the middle of the road. Both drivers got out and met each other halfway. They were both tall and intimidating with their hoods up. One driver passed the other driver money, but then they suddenly began to argue. We all watched in awe as they flung their hands around dramatically and started to shout. We couldn't make out what they were saying since the loud echo distorted their voices. We all froze as the van driver pulled out a gun and shot the other driver in the throat. The driver collapsed, blood pooling around him. The van's driver yelled something, and then we saw two other guys get out of the van. One tossing the body into the back seat, and the other began wiping up the blood. Something was going on here, and I could tell we were in danger. Dorian whispered that we had to leave, now. We all began to quietly grab our skateboards and started hiding behind a wall. But the blood-cleaning guy spotted Jalen as he was making his way over and yelled to the driver. The van started up, and right then, Aditya screamed. We all threw down our skateboards and began pushing away as fast as possible.
Epic escape?
I could hear so many noises in my ears, like skateboards moving, voices shouting and screaming, and the roaring van behind us. Dorian was on an electric skateboard and was taking the lead as we wound around the ramps, rising to the next level.
Rich boy.
Jordan was next to me, and Aditya was close behind us on his scooter. Jalen, who had been the last to leave, was falling behind, and we could see the van speeding up behind him. I yelled for him to run to the side, and he popped his skateboard into his hands and took a sharp turn to the left, running up a fire escape.
Epic.
The van screeched around the corner as Dorian began approaching the garage door. And that's when I realized something. We had to wait for a car to trigger the sensor and open the door. I yelled at Dorian to take the staircase to the right, and he did. Jordan and I hopped off our skateboards and ushered Aditya into the staircase. We burst out into some dirty apartment floor, and I quickly called Jalen. He picked up and told us he was outside the apartment building by the main road. We held our skateboards and ran through the apartment floor until we found the fire escape.
This is awesome.
Then we managed to run outside and met Jalen, where we called the cops. After the cops arrived, they started to search the parking garage.
They couldn't find any traces, nor the cars there, so they decided to check the security footage. The footage revealed the van's license plate was covered with duct tape, but they did catch the license plate of the car of the driver who'd been shot. They said they'd keep us updated and gave us a lift home. Since then, we've never seen the van again or gotten any important information from the cops. My friends and I have recently resorted to the much safer and public skate park nearby.
You
and
should have
never
done that from the
visited
beginning.
that garage again.
Why would you go there in the first place? It's dangerous. And like, it's full of cars and you can get easily kicked out. And like, why? It's dumb. I mean, I get why they would do it. They're rebellious little teenagers and whatever, but if you had a skate park, isn't that place meant for skating? Wouldn't it be cooler to skate there? Doesn't matter, I guess. We have another animation. For some reason, moving my hand in front of the light makes it look like I don't have any fingers. But whatever. The next one is The Girl, which, as I said, stereotypical for scary stuff. Girls with black hair. Cool. And also guys in hoods.
Caitlin. This incident happened when I was 14 years old, and I will never forget this memory.
I'm 14.
One day, I was at home alone at my house. My mom was still at the office late at night, and my two siblings were at my grandparents' house.
I understand. I think office jobs are super boring. You just sit there, you type some stuff on a computer. I don't even know what they do in the office job. I have absolutely no idea what they do. But it's so just brain dead boring to me. And I swear to God, I will never get an office job. It's so boring.
Kind of far away from my home. At first, I was just enjoying my time alone, watching Netflix and doing some fun stuff. However, after a while, I got pretty bored, so I decided to invite some of my friends over. I asked my mom for permission and then called my friends.
Oh, aren't you
to
just a
invite
goody
them over.
two-shoes?
A few moments later, while I was waiting for them, I heard a loud bang upstairs. I was
You're in
sure
an
that there was
apartment.
no one else upstairs.
Oh, she's in
So
a
I
house.
stood up and looked up the stairs with an anxious look on my face. When I was near the stairs, I could see that one of my dolls had...
Of course. Of course. It's called The Girl, and there's a doll. A little doll, which is basically just an attachment to the girl stereotypic scary stuff. Come on. So
fallen.
dumb.
I picked it up, and when I straightened my back, something caught my attention. A little girl was standing upstairs. Well, I could feel that she was staring at me, even though I couldn't see
Well,
her
right
face
here.
clearly due to the darkness. I was terrified, and then someone rang the doorbell.
Probably your friend.
I ran to see who it was, and luckily, my friends had arrived. Thank God, it was a moment of relief that my friends came over at the right time. Soon, I got my mind off of the girl I saw. We sat down in the living room and had fun talking with each other.
So now there's gonna be a bang
An
upstairs
hour
again?
later, one of my friends suggested that we should take some pictures together. So we gathered around one another. We took several selfies while laughing and chatting. Later, as we scrolled through the pictures, we found something. There was a little girl standing behind our couch. What made us even more terrified was the fact that she had no face. I mean, her face was just an empty darkness. No eyes, no nose, and no mouth. Being terrified, I told Cassie to delete that picture right away. However, she said that something was wrong with her cell phone. I snatched the phone out of her hands and tried to delete it. But no matter what we tried, we couldn't delete the picture. Then we heard loud thumps. It sounded like someone's footsteps were coming from upstairs.
Oh,
and
I
our
hate
light
this.
was flickering on and off at the same time. We thought that we couldn't stay inside anymore, so we rushed outside in
At
a
least you
hurry.
didn't investigate.
One of my friends, Christina, suddenly pointed at my bedroom window and said that there was someone in there. I raised my eyes up and followed her finger.
There is someone
and
there.
There she was. It was the same faceless girl we had seen in the picture.
Slenderman's daughter?
My friends
Question
and I
mark?
screamed. I called my mom and explained everything. My mom couldn't believe what I told her, so she made me calm down and said that she would be home in 5 minutes. After she arrived home, she searched the entire house, but she couldn't find any
Bruh.
trace of the girl.
Of course,
I
she's a
hoped
ghost.
that it was just our imaginations. However, we soon decided to move out of the house because I kept seeing the girl after that incident. We finally moved, and from then on, my mom never wanted me to be home alone, so I always stayed with my siblings. I still have no clue why the girl haunted me, but I think it was because she wanted us to get out of the house. Well, I'm just glad that I don't see that girl in my new house.
Oh, there's one other songs in this song. I heard that they make songs too. Nice, go check a song out too, guys. I'm assuming they're good. That was scary. I mean, stereotypical for animation, scary stuff. Girls, dolls, black hair, ghosts. It's all the same thing. Oh well. I guess we should go check out the next one, which is... Okay. Ugh, of course, it's an ad! The scariest thing ever! Okay, I'm gonna stop this ad and see you guys in a second. Okay, well, I turned off the ad, because I skipped it. So, the next one for today is The Carpenter. At my house. Don't forget it, not in the shop. At my house. At their house. Not mine.
This happened not long after we moved into our house in 2003. It was a nice and big house, which was made in the
Changing positions.
1950s. One day I was in my backyard watering the grass, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw something that made me pause. There was a man standing next to the shrubs
I would
near
move
our
out right away.
backyard's wall. He was dressed like a carpenter. His head looked like it was tilted sideways, and his body was slightly facing our fences sideways.
Screw that position.
Then he saw me and smiled kindly at me. At first, I thought he was fixing someone's house, and that it was his job. However, only after he faced me, I realized that wasn't the case. When I looked at him with narrowed eyes, I noticed that his neck was visibly broken, causing his head to awkwardly tilt to the side. I then saw that he waved at me once, but I was too shocked to scream at the time. After I regained consciousness, I looked around, but he had vanished and had literally faded away.
What?
2 nights later, I woke up at 3 a.m.
That was a whole bunch of a mess there. A carpenter guy with a broken neck who does this. I don't know. And he just disappeared. He like a ghost from a carpenter that died trying to fix the house or something? Maybe.
Noise was coming from my ceiling. It sounded
Oh,
like
shoot.
someone wearing construction boots was walking very slowly.
Oh, come
I
on.
started
Since when are you a footwear professional to know what boots sound like walking on top of the ceiling? Like, dude, I wouldn't know unless I'm not really familiar with carpenter's boots. Are they visibly and noise-makingly different than other shoes? Because I don't know.
to freak out, thinking that it might be a thief.
Or maybe
However,
she's some
I
kinda
suddenly realized that that part of the roof was so
super...
thin, which meant nobody could walk on it. The steps abruptly stopped after a while, and when I felt at ease, I heard another horrible sound. I heard a sharp scream that sounded like a man. Then a loud...
Oh, I see. I see. So this is a ghost from a carpenter who died. So this is my theory. He was fixing the roof. She said it was thin. He broke it. He broke, falling off. Fell, scratched his neck. That's why his neck was broken, as she mentioned before. That's my theory.
thud, as if someone had dropped on my ceiling, followed after. I covered my head with a blanket. My hands and whole body shivered. And after 10 minutes of nothing, I peeked outside. It was completely quiet. I saw and heard nothing, but I couldn't fall back asleep that night.
The hell was
The
with the
next
moon?
morning, I started to look up the
And why
history
was
of
its
the house.
face upside down?
To my surprise, it turned out that there was a report about the carpenter I met a few days before in the backyard. In 1958, he had been hired to fix the roof while the owners were on vacation.
My theory.
However, the carpenter had fallen abruptly through the weak spot on the roof while he was working and had broken his neck. He couldn't scream for help, and no one ever knew what happened to him as the owners were gone for 2 weeks. He was finally found when they came back, but had already died. This happened right above my bedroom. Suddenly, I felt bad for the poor guy, and I guess he's still looking after things. Since then, I've seen him sometimes, but I'm no longer afraid of him.
My theory was indeed correct. He fell, broke his neck, died. Okay.
This
so
story is about when I first moved to the city and joined the company.
Okay. I guess we're jumping right in. So this next one is True Dorm Horror Story. Yes. So next year I'm gonna be going high school. So I still have a while way to go to college. I have never been in dorms. But I mean, they don't seem like the most scariest place. They look like small
Our company
apartment
was
buildings
running a
for
dormitory at the time, and
poor people.
I was the one from the countryside, so I decided to stay in the dormitory. One day after work, I came back to the dormitory and was eating my dinner with the TV on.
That's a
It
computer.
was almost midnight after working overtime. I was laughing and watching some comedy shows, and then I felt a sudden strangeness. You know, like it feels like someone is staring at you. Feeling weird, I turned
Why
my
did
head
they show a
toward the
picture of
window,
his pillow?
and I couldn't move as my whole body stiffened with a tremendous chill. I couldn't even scream.
What?
The woman's face was stuck in the window as I turned casually to look. And she was staring at me, without any movement. Now, let's think about it. The windows in the dorm were not even small. It was just the size of a normal person's upper body. But look, a face big enough to fill that size of a window? Can you imagine what it was? And what was scarier was, I was on the 5th floor at the time. How could she even stand over there, staring at me? I was frozen. I couldn't run away. I could only just watch her glaring eyes. It was lucky that I could move as the ghost disappeared the moment someone knocked on my door. One of my coworkers in the next room came to my room saying that he had something urgent to do. And when he looked at my pale face, he asked me if I was okay. So I explained to him what I had just saw. And then his face looked a little stiff.
Okay, I've been quiet, and it's me being dramatic and whatever you want to call it, but I call bull. There's no way this is true. It must be some kind of either hallucination or something, or just straight up lies, but whatever, I don't know.
Well, he didn't say anything anymore, but I knew it. I was sure. I'm not the only one who saw her here. Anyway, something strange has happened to me since then. Sometimes when people get together and talk about ghost stories, I suddenly start to feel nauseous, like ghosts are coming to see me. For example, one day I was with my friends in a restaurant, and as soon as they started talking about
I need an
ghosts,
example because I'm
my skin
confused.
turned pale, and I started sweating all over my body. At first, they thought I
Sure you're
was
not just
lying or trying to prank them.
scared?
But when I looked at the door with a serious look on my face and told my friends not to keep telling those stories, they all had to shut up. I think something's wrong with me. So, anyone who's watching this story, I hope you guys always check out the window, especially when you're alone in your house. Always.
What was that? What do you mean check out my window? Look, it's a beautiful sunny bright day. There's no women giant face staring at me. I'm telling you, I call it, bro. I call it. Let's just get on with the next one. I think this might be the last one. I'm not sure, but I think. So, I got a message from my friend who got murdered. Now, two things that I have theorized for this. Either the murderer is texting you, or the second one, which is more ghostly, ghost possession phone message. You know, scary.
It happened a few years ago.
Okay.
I was hanging out at the local mall with a couple of my friends, just chatting, as usual. All my friends had social media accounts, like Facebook or Instagram, and they would focus on it sometimes when we were goofing around together. Drake, one of my friends, was saying that he met a girl from Facebook. He also told us that he really liked her, and that he was going out with the girl that night. We joked with him that he was going to be going out with some 40-year-old man. Like those kind of jokes, you know. A couple of hours later, we had to go back home.
Probably
So
is
we
a
all left the
40-year-old
mall.
man.
When I got back home, I went inside my room to watch some TV. It was almost midnight when I got a text from my friend saying, "Hey, just finished the date." So I texted back, "Was he pretty?" He replied, "Very funny. Jokes aside, my car broke down and I need you to pick me up." Then he sent me an address.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I'm not the kind of person who ignores when my friend needs a hand. So I asked my parents if I could take the car, and they said yes.
They seem too
Grabbed my
distracted
phone
on
and
the
texted
TV or
again.
whatever they're
On my
doing,
way.
so you got
Soon I got
lucky.
to the address he sent me and parked in the driveway. While I was going up the stairs, I kind of had a creepy feeling, as if I was being watched.
Why?
Anyway, I rang the doorbell and heard someone say, "Come in." At first, I didn't recognize the voice. It was neither my friend's voice.
Wait. It wasn't his friend that texted him to come over. It was the guy.
Nor a female voice. So I just figured that it might be the girl's dad. Well, I was a bit surprised
Or
that
the
the door was already
40-year-old
open.
man.
But anyway, I walked in, and when I closed the door behind me, I saw this man watching TV with the girl and my friend. I said, "Hey, Drake." However, for some reason, he didn't respond. I had a strange feeling, so I slowly walked up to Drake, and I would never forget what I saw at that moment. The girl and my friend Drake were stabbed, and they were already dead. They were put in a position in a way that it looked like they were sitting. So I thought they were just watching TV like that. I looked over at the man watching TV, and I saw that he was holding a bloody knife in one hand, and my friend's phone in his other hand. He was smiling. The man turned his head toward me, stood up and said, "Hello, young man. It's your turn." I tried to run out of the door, but because he was laughing so loudly, I was terrified, and I couldn't move. But there was no choice. When he approached me, I abruptly kicked him, knocked him down, and managed to run outside.
Dang, you're a
Fortunately, he
badass.
didn't chase after me, but I didn't care. I just got in my car and drove off straight to my home. As soon as I got home, I woke my parents and told them about what had happened. And of course, they contacted the police. The police arrived pretty fast and raided the house, but didn't find my friend the girl, or even the man. And to this day, they still haven't found any clues. Now I'm grown up and I'm living on my own with my wife and newborn daughter. I always think about what would have happened to me if I was unable to run away that day. And my friend Drake, his face keeps coming up in my mind all the time since then.
Well, yep, as I guess that's the last one for today. Oh, well, I guess this is gonna be the end of the video, guys. If you like it, make sure to like, share this video, subscribe, hit the bell. You won't miss any more videos. And yeah, it'll be fun to watch my videos. Yeah. Well, that was pretty spoopy. So yeah, I don't really have much to add. I'm kind of running out of time here, guys. So I'm gonna have to end this quickly. So I'll catch up with you guys next time. But for now, I have to say goodbye. So I'll say goodbye. Goodbye.